Hello, everybody. I'm Ricky Smith. Welcome to Faith on Friday Presents. At Faith on Friday Presents, we're all about highlighting inspiring people, engaging topics, and small businesses that need to be highlighted. And don't forget, while you're here, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. We don't want you to miss a thing. All right, so everyone's doing it, right? Or are they? We're out there, we're talking to people, we're networking, we're doing all the things. We're following up, we're making sure to shake the right hands and kiss the right babies. But what is that all doing for us? Nobody knows for sure. Or do they? Let me introduce you to somebody who's going to talk all about your net worth being locked up in your network. Everyone, please say hello to Steve Ramona. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Hello, fantastic. I'm excited to be on this awesome show.
I'm excited to have you here. We were talking before we came on about your last name being Ramona. And being here in El Paso, I was telling you, no, it's actually Ramona. And you're like, yeah, that'll work.
Just love the sound of that. Keep saying it. It sounds great.
Well, when you
Sounds so
come,
professional.
right? When you come to El Paso, that's how they'll say it. Steve Ramona. So
I
welcome,
love
Steve.
it.
Thanks so much for being here. Steve, before we jump into the fabulousness that is you, net worth, networking, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're located.
I'm located in San Jose, California, which is called Silicon Valley, Bay Area, Northern California. Been here all my life, born and raised. And I've been an entrepreneur. My dad was an entrepreneur contractor his whole life that I remember. So I always loved his free time. He'd come to my ball games. He'd be able to take up and he'd go back to work, but he had that time. He'd play golf on Thursdays with his boys and then have dinner and drinks. I liked
Right.
that lifestyle.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I've only had a couple jobs in my life, and since then, I've really just jumped right into just entrepreneurship. And
Yeah.
we know it's popular now, even more so than when I started back in 1978. Some people aren't even born then, which is okay because age is just a number. It's
That's right.
experience, actually.
All
And
right.
I've just always had this feeling of I can help and support more people and serve more people by being an
Mhm.
entrepreneur. And I
Yeah.
learned about, and we'll get into the network and how I could really grow. And it kind of just happened. And over the
Mhm.
last 10 years, I've learned some many great things that I'll mention on the show that really inspire people.
Yeah. You have so much stuff going on. Like I told you before we got on, I looked you up. I know who you are, Steve Ramona. So when you got started in 78, what was one of the first things you did as an entrepreneur? Don't tell me you had a paper route or something like that. What'd you do?
No, no. What I learned was my family started a health club,
Okay.
1978. And I just got out of college. I was going to play community college football. And it was summertime, as a high school graduate, you want money. You want to go to
Yeah.
the beach, you want to go out, maybe take a date, or whatever that may be. So they
Mhm.
asked me to work the front desk at the health club. And it was an amazing experience because that's where my entrepreneurial interest really got started because I started
Right.
building this network of 40, 50, 60 year olds. Keep in mind, I'm 18 years old.
Wow.
I'm seeing these people every day and they're millionaires. Some
Yeah.
of these guys have done very well. And I started realizing the relationships I was building. They'd want to
Mhm.
go to lunch. One guy gave me a tip to read a book. 10 years later, I made $68,000 from his
Wow.
resource. And I even reached
Mhm.
out to him and said, hey, I want to thank you with here's $1,000. He goes, no, I'm retired. But Steve, since you listened to me, my
Mhm.
universe changed. I made all this money partly because you took my advice and you ran with it. The universe rewarded me back. And I went,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I need to start building a network. And I did
Woo.
in 22 years I was with, or 20 years I was with the health club.
Mhm. My gosh, that right there is so much information. Being an 18-year-old kid, networking, if you will, it wasn't super a popular term back in the day, but building those relationships with people much older than you. And it's not so much that you built the relationships, you listened and you did what they told you to do. So now fast forward a couple decades and your networking has built itself even more. What did you learn about that? And what are you trying to tell other people about networking at this point?
Well, the power of it is we change our entrepreneurship ideas a lot. I mean, we talk to people, went from coaching to this, What
Mm.
happened was when I built this network at the health club, I helped start a restaurant. I brought that whole network to the restaurant. We
Mm-hmm.
blew up. We were
Yeah.
packed Fridays and Saturdays. My friend who owned the business, like, what are you doing? I said, just brought the people. I'd go, hey, I'm health club people. I'm at this restaurant. Come join me. And people would
Yeah.
line up and come join me. And then I started a
Wow.
recycling business, took the restaurant network, the health club network. The key here is I built a relationship with
Mm-hmm.
these people. Hey, I'm started recycling. If you need your computers or electronics recycled,
Mm-hmm.
I did a free recycling, made
Wow.
tons of money, and
Right.
helped and served a lot more people because I was doing it for free. I wasn't charging.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see those opportunities, and every opportunity I have, I just roll my network with it. Because what am I doing? I'm bringing them value and I'm building great relationships.
I like it. For folks that are listening who are like, oh, I want to get started, but I struggle with, talking to people. I'm an introvert. I don't know what to say. What would you tell those people who really want to be you when they get big, but they feel like they can't for a myriad of reasons?
Incredible question. You're an incredible host because this is a powerful, powerful question. Introverts are the best because all introvert needs to do is go, Ricky, where were you born? El
Hmm.
Paso. Let's say it's El Paso, Texas. Oh, and
Right.
how long have you lived there? Do you still live there? You see a question leads to another question. And here's a key when you're networking: shut up and listen. And people go, of course I'm shutting up. And I make that powerful because they
Yeah.
don't.
No, they
And
don't.
people, an audience, think about if you're on a Zoom call with your business. We've all been on the Brady Bunch boxes, and the box goes black and somebody disappears, or they do this. And if you're watching or listening, I'm turning away.
Right.
Yeah, I've shut up, but am I listening to what Ricky's saying?
Hmm.
Absolutely not. Or am I comprehending what Ricky's saying?
Right.
So what I do, every person I meet, and you experience this, I shut up and listen and learn how I can bring value. That's the next step from shut up to listen and then bring value. Because
Yeah.
once you bring value, it's Christmas every day. And
Oh,
I want to
so
think of
good.
you, yeah, think about it as a kid.
Hmm.
You wake up at 6 a.m., you never do that. You run to the tree and start opening presents. That's what I
Exactly.
do get to do every day.
Wow. When you said shut up and listen, it made me think of something. I actually have it written on my desk. Listen to learn, don't listen to respond. And a lot of times we
Beautiful.
listen to respond. Why do we do that? Because we think we need to be more important than we are. We want people to know what we know. And I'm just like, I don't know anything, and I'm okay with that because I want to see what you know, because what you know may change my life. And you said
Amen.
that, the listening part too. We're podcasters. If you're not listening, you have a monologue going on. You don't have a podcast.
Yeah, no, and it's if you want to be an introvert, want to be a better question, listener or
Mhm.
question, and be less of an introvert, podcast is a great way to go. But there's many ways. But here's a
Mhm.
tip for all you introverts. Here's three questions: where are you from?
Mhm.
Um, what do you do? And what are your goals?
Oh, that's so
Write those
good.
down as you listen to those, or go on the internet, go to ChatGPT, whatever. But have
Mhm.
those questions right in front of you with
Yeah.
every person you meet. I guarantee you'll become less of an introvert and you'll make more sales.
And you will start building your network. So let's talk about building a network. You have been building a network, like you said, since 1978. Your network must be huge. How do you maintain that network, Steve?
That's a great question because there's no right answer. You're going to miss people. I get 3 to 10 referrals a day.
Hmm.
I miss people, but as humans, we always come back to it. Use a
Hmm.
CRM, use software, spreadsheets, something like that. If you want to reach out to me, I can show you some things that I do or other people
Hmm.
have done. Try to keep track of it. But
Hmm.
I think people so worry about keeping track of it and how to do it, they forget to be able to meet people.
Ooh,
Oh, I can't meet 20 people this week because how am I going to track it?
yeah.
Meet those 20 people and make it happen. Because not all 20 people are going to relate with you, resonate
Sure.
with you,
Hmm.
but let's say it's five. Well,
Yeah.
those five people give you five referrals. Now you get 25 new people.
Hmm.
Here's a great tip
Wow.
that I tell all my entrepreneurs: meet 10 to 15 new people every week. How
All
do I do
right.
that? What do I do? Take your calendar, go back 6 months, 3 months.
Mhm.
and go, Ricky, Tony, Jim, I haven't talked to them in a while. Quick email, quick question. Hey, it's been a while. Let's do a follow-up. Well,
Mhm.
I'm sure you can find 10 people next week that you can book a meeting with, or 15 people. Those are
Wow.
new people in a sense of things have changed. How
Yeah.
fast is our world changing?
Oh my
So you,
gosh.
I mean, I just had a follow-up with a guy this week, gave him some great stuff. He wants to
Mhm.
start a podcast. Well, 6 months ago when I talked to him, he was not even thinking about it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
those follow-ups can be new. And here's the power of compounding. I call this compounding people interest because we're in
Okay.
the people asset business. That's why
Mhm.
it's tied to your network. You meet 10 people next week, they give you 5 referrals. That's 15 new people or 15 people that you're
Yeah.
connected with serving.
Oh my
Within
goodness.
the next week, it's 10 more and they give you 10. So that's 20. It's 45 new people and it
Mhm.
adds. I started January of 2020. I started a new business and
Mhm.
I was a sales guy. And I did 20 meetings a week.
Oh.
By the end of 6 weeks, I had 500 new people in my network.
Woo. 500
Referrals.
people.
I did, and I didn't meet all 500, of course,
Sure.
but get referrals. In audience, I want you to think about how your business would change if you got 3 referrals a day, 3 introductions.
A
I get
day.
3 to 10 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably could pull up my email right now and I've got an introduction for my podcast or for,
hmm
a resource or whatever it may be. That's
Yeah.
what your network's about.
And then you said your network is tied to your net worth. So the more you know, the more you're making. Let's talk a little bit about that. So, like I said, I looked you up because I'm nosy like that, Steve. And I'm seeing the things that you're doing, the people that you are talking to. So, in my mind, you are a gazillionaire right now and can probably wipe out the US debt by just you being who you are. Talk to us a little bit about network versus and your net worth.
God bless you. So there's a couple of things. I just learned this a couple of years ago. So this is new information.
Mm.
Audience, I want to think about if you have one person in your network, how many referrals can they give you with the possibility to get clients and grow
Mhm.
compared to 1,500 people in your network? How many referrals you can get? I probably have 2,000 inner circle in my network. That's why I'm getting emails,
Wow.
text,
Mhm.
referrals every day because I've built a quality. And now your net worth can also grow. This is the new
Mhm.
thing I've learned. If you are an insurance agent making 100,000 a year,
Mhm.
I always say learn above, mentor below.
That's good.
This is a good one. I love
Mhm.
this. So you're making 100,000. You want to meet other insurance agents, maybe agencies that are making 250,000, a million, 10 million, 50 million a year.
Mhm.
That's where you're going to learn
Yeah.
and just grab everything. And
Mhm.
then the serving part is mentor the brand new insurance agent that's coming on, hasn't made a cent, or a person that's
Mhm.
struggling, or a
Yeah.
person that just loves what you're doing and wants to work with you. You take care of
Mhm.
God below, you take care of yourself above.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That is so good. You said something earlier though, quality. So what that said to me is you don't just go out collecting people like baseball cards. Are you a little bit more selective when you're looking at your network, or are you just whomever comes in, that's who we're taking?
Audience, this is one of the best hosts I've ever met because these are really great questions. I talk about opportunity door.
Okay.
You meet somebody, that's a door opening. And what's a door do? It opens and closes. You
hmm
walk in that door when you meet somebody. If it's not a fit and you can't bring them value, which rarely happens if you really think about it, you just
Yeah.
walk out that door, virtually handshake and move on,
hmm
leave them with a good taste. You probably still may get referrals.
Yeah. Even if they
So
don't
I
match.
exactly now I've
Right.
used to do 10 to 12 meetings a day.
hmm
Can't be successful with that. I was serving way too much, and we can talk about that down the a little bit
hmm
here. You cut back your appointments, but try to meet everybody because remember, when somebody does an introduction, it's a gift.
hmm Mm,
People go, hey, I've got
yeah,
these guest opportunities. Some aren't a fit, and I
right.
would still take them as a guest. But if people ask me, I tell them this is what I'm looking for, a
Sure.
higher level of a guest.
hmm
But I hate to say no, or I won't guide them there for that.
Right.
But you never know. You meet somebody, an insurance agent making 100,000 a year, and his cousin is the vice president of Google.
Yeah, we might want to talk.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where
I
the
know.
network starts working in the net worth.
Hmm.
And again, if you want to grow, you need to be in rooms with people that are much more successful than you.
I like that. That is so true. And don't be afraid of those rooms.
No.
Because you said something earlier, you grow up, but you mentor down type deal. And I like that so much because so many of us starting out, we think that, well, I need to stay where I'm comfortable. And I've heard people say it over and over, and it's true. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. Get
Exactly.
out and start meeting people. So, Steve, as your net worth grows, because your network is growing, you now have quality people in your network and you're mentoring those up under you. What do you do next? Do you sit back on your laurels and like, I got it, I'm the man? What do you do now?
Always build your network. You should be
Okay.
always building. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on there because people go, hey, 250,000 a year, I'm super happy. I don't want to grow. I've got this
Mm-hmm.
constant. More power to you. I still love you guys.
Right.
And this won't fit you. And there's people that I've talked to who are very happy where they're at. A quick side note, you should always be building
Mm.
because a thing like depression back in the 20s,
Wow.
2008 stock market, COVID, now things are always going to happen to kind of put a bump into your business.
So true.
But if if that person's happy, but always thinking, if you want to meet people, there's
Mm-hmm.
always that funnel of growth that you want to do. So I
Yeah.
leave that caveat. But the important thing with the network and the net worth,
Mm-hmm.
that's your decision. It's all customized to you. Is it
Wow.
100 people or 1,500 or 1,800 or 5 people? Some people
Mm-hmm.
want a 5-person inner circle.
Right. That's
And that's
true.
always a cool tool where you can go back and forth and just, hey, let's do 2 referrals every week.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Maybe, and I call them disciples. We have faith behind it.
True.
Here's 2 stories that will really help people.
Okay.
If your faith, Jesus had 12 disciples. We all
Mm-hmm.
know that, it's in the Bible. Millions of people got his message.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do people that aren't with faith. Hitler, one of the worst men in our history. He
Mm-hmm.
only had 20 generals that got message out to hundreds of millions of people
Yeah.
for the wrong reason. So I want you to find, in my case, your disciples, your 5, 10, 12 people that
Right.
you work with, that you combat back and forth. And I run a
Mm-hmm.
mastermind, and that's what we do,
Right.
and help build our businesses that way. That's a great
Mm-hmm.
way to build a nice inner circle of a
Yeah.
network.
That's a great analogy. You said something though that was interesting to me. You have your inner circle and those people you kind of stay with along the way. How important is it to invest in yourself as you're working on your network?
It's you can't be a servant. You can't build a network. You can't do all these things we just talked about. It starts with you. So be the best of yourself. Be aware of that. If you
Mm-hmm.
need help with things, I needed help. And a quick story. Here's a great thing about what I learned. About 2.5 years ago, I met this gentleman right before my podcast. He
Mm-hmm.
made $250 million, and his mission for his company,
Mm-hmm.
servant heart, servant
Wow.
heart, just to serve. He served his competitors. He served his employees. He served his board. He served his customers,
Wow.
either through the company or through him. $250
Mm-hmm.
million he made.
Man.
What I learned that I was not doing. So for the last 11 years, I've built $25 million in deals and partnerships for people, a
Mm-hmm.
massive number when I ran through them. And I
Wow.
probably made about $10,000 off those deals.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm saying this because I believe in affiliate rewards, affiliate
Mm-hmm.
commission. If I
Mm-hmm.
put 2 people together, I should get value and paid for that as well, because
So
it's a
good.
win-win-win. The
Yeah,
client gets somebody good, the company gets a great client, and they're going to take care of me.
that's right.
So what he told me was, Steve, because what I do is go, Ricky, here's 3 introductions.
Mm-hmm.
What's your natural response? How can I support you? How can I help you,
Yeah.
Steve?
What can I do for you? Yeah.
I put my hand up physically like this. And for listening, I put my hand up and go, oh, no, I'm good. Stop, Steve. Think of the infinity loop, the sideways 8.
Yeah.
You have to give and you have to receive. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize this, in audience, this is a huge tip. When you're giving and not receiving, you turn the person you gave into a taker. Because they're
Woo.
like, oh my God, the energy he's taking. And it happened with us. I gave you some, you were so fired up. And if I went, no, I'm good, you're it's not consciously you're going to walk away going, oh, he's a pain in my butt. He's a terrible
Mhm.
guy. No, you're
Right.
not going to think that. But the universe changes, the thing you don't
Hmm.
see. And once I started receiving, that's what
Yeah.
last year was my best year ever.
That is so, it is, I love that, we're talking about the faith in it as well.
Yeah.
As girl of faith myself, all I heard was give and it shall be given. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will men give to your bosom. And I love knowing that. But something else you said, and I talk to a lot of my clients about the same thing. If someone asks you, what do you need to have at least three things that you can pull out of your hat, whether it is a donation, a referral, or a job opportunity. What do you tell your clients about stuff like that? What do you tell them if somebody asks you, what do you need? Do you give them any advice on that area?
I do. You got to have offers, offers or projects available or your
Mhm.
business, and you have to have it down. Well, Ricky, and I kind of need this. And
Right?
no, I'm part of a mastermind. I'm looking for millionaire billionaires. I'm part of a direct mail program. I'm looking for nonprofits that have a database of more than 10,000.
Yeah,
This is so important. I say that all the time to these, but all these tips are so important.
they
When you're
are.
more direct and talking to somebody going, I need nonprofits with 10,000 donors or more,
Right.
Ricky can go in her head, go, who do I have? Instead of just saying, hey, I'm looking for nonprofits.
Yeah. Be specific.
Be specific.
Yeah. It makes me think of dating. If somebody asks me, a
Yeah.
girlfriend says, oh my gosh, I wish I had a nice guy. And I ask them, what are you looking for? All of a sudden, there is a laundry list of, I want him to have this and be this. But when it comes to our business, our network, our actual heart's desire of a thing, people are wishy-washy. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe if I could. And guess what you end up with? That right there. Nothing.
And nada. Yeah. And it's, I hear all the time, I want to help people grow. I want to help people make more
Mm-hmm.
money. I want to help people, make more, have more clients. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I can't go, and people as humans can't go in their head and go through their network and figure out, well, that's everybody.
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
be specific. If you work with plumbers and roofers, say that.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so funny. Matter of fact, Steve, you introduced me to somebody who she and I are going to be having a conversation soon. And that was one of the things that I really liked because when you and I talked way earlier before this, you said, Ricky, what is it that I can do for you? And I think that I was very direct. I said, this is what I'm looking for, inspiring people, engaging thought, and da da da. And that day, Steve, you sent me four people that day. But that to me is the power of two things. One, the power of knowing what you want, and two, the power of a network. Because I may not be able to do it, but I know a guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a servant's heart. I mean,
Yeah.
I rarely can bring people clients. I do at
Mm-hmm.
times, but I'm big on partnerships. And here's
Mm-hmm.
another great tip. If you're out there an entrepreneur, find entrepreneurs that even do similar. If you're both mindset business coaches,
Mm-hmm.
go build a webinar, an event, and charge
So
people,
good.
$9.99, whatever, ten
Yeah.
bucks or whatever. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I always believe every entrepreneur should have a free workshop
Mm-hmm.
because that's how you build your network. And remember, your network is called who's your newsletter.
Yeah.
I added 3,200 people to my newsletter.
Wow.
Well, actually 4,200 just 6 weeks ago because I went
My
through my
goodness.
network.
Mm-hmm.
Those are crazy numbers, and I'm blown away. And I'm making sales from that. I'm making money through that through other people. So really,
Yeah.
this networking thing can go so many ways, and I've got so many tips to show people how to do it.
Yeah.
And here's one tip: go to your calendar and click on your contact list.
Mm-hmm.
Get the 9 dots at the top right. This is a
Right.
huge tip. I just did this, and then you click contacts in that little box, and it
Mm-hmm.
pulls up all your contacts that you met with
Right.
at 4,400 people. Think
Woo.
about that. So I
Yeah.
just sent them a quick email. Hey, I'm going to be sending you a newsletter. I'm going to bring you information. I'm excited about the information I'm going to bring you, some of my podcast. And if you want to unsubscribe, please go ahead. Give them the
Yeah.
honor of doing that.
Sure.
I probably had 400 people unsubscribe, and that's great
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't going to be interested anyways.
Exactly.
But
Yeah. Steve, there's so much stuff in here. Oh my gosh. So, Steve, if somebody wanted to reach out to you to find out more, or at least just continue this conversation, where's the best place for them to find you?
If you're on LinkedIn, go to Steve Ramona, SteveRamona. I almost couldn't spell my last name. That's a great way to do that. You can find me on Facebook. I'm mostly on LinkedIn, or you can email me at stever1961@gmail, or call my office and leave me a text or voicemail, 408-642-6288. And I'd love to talk to you and set up a time to meet and see how I can mentor you and educate you and, do some other things with you.
I love it. Don't worry, y'all. If you did not get his information, all of it is going to be in the description below. And don't forget, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. Steve, my friend, before I let you go, we got to play a game.
Let's do it.
All right. This game is so simple. It's simply called What's Your Favorite? I'm just going to ask you a series of questions, and you, my friend, just tell me what your favorite is. Are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Steve, what's your favorite time of year?
Summer.
Ooh, why is that? Well, you live in California.
Yeah, that's why. I'm not a big sun guy, but people are happier in the summer.
Yeah, I think so too. What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yeah, I like a good present myself. Anyway, what's your
Amen.
favorite food, Steve?
Italian.
I can go with that. Romano. Anyway.
Yeah. I love it.
Favorite dessert?
Cheesecake. Strawberry.
Wait, is it strawberry cheesecake or is it cheesecake with strawberry on the top?
Great question. Strawberry on the top.
Strawberry top. See, we got to make sure that these things are out there. Yeah. Favorite TV show?
Yellowstone.
Really? I've never seen it.
It's
oh my gosh.
It's really good. And on a quick side note, because of all this networking, I'm producing a movie. So I look at shows a little different. Yeah, you didn't know that, but I'm producing a movie. God Doesn't Waste a Thing is the working title right now. So
I like it. And
I
it's so
love
true.
TV shows and movies. I'm learning different things that I didn't know before. So.
Yeah, that would definitely do it. What is your favorite genre of movie?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm good moving towards documentaries now.
Okay. Is that because you're becoming a film director, producer type deal, or?
That's part of it, but and I love to brain meld and just watch shows like Yellowstone and get away. I think people need to do that. That's just my thing. But documentaries, I've learned so much. And for a quick thing, I watched the documentary on the Florida Gators football team with Tim Tebow.
Oh, wow. Oh, I actually have that book. I have his book, so I haven't seen that.
So I'm going to send you a link, and audience search Tim Tebow 316. It's a 10-minute video that literally had me in tears, the miracles that happened. So that's a little tip.
No, watch that. And finally, my friend, what would you tell your 13-year-old self right now?
Shut up and listen. You don't have an ego. I had the worst ego. I thought I was an athlete, so I was told I was a stupid athlete. And not told that specifically, but
right.
In the windows,
shut up and dribble, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Thank you. So I would tell myself, hey, forget about that. Shut up and listen, and don't